Welcome back to Immortal Empires, where last episode we finally wiped out Malekith and took his remaining lands as we zoom in here. However, to the north, Valkia here did send a second army. So right now we're just marching north of Grombrindal to try and intercept this force. Hopefully we can get some replenishment on the way there. Meanwhile, we also have front to the south with a small army. Now we are getting 4k gold per turn, so I think we might actually upgrade Thrun's force and go and take on Alithana. Do we have any agreements with him? We do have a trade agreement and a non-aggression pact though, so maybe that's not the best decision. So maybe we should take Alithana here. We could go south and take on the Vampire Coast, and then we could head further south and maybe take on some High Elves down here. So in fact, let's go ahead and do that. Does he have any movement left this turn? Not really. He doesn't really have an army either, actually. So maybe we should take him, I think Nagarond we were building. Yeah, Hagreef, sorry. So let's take Thrund north to Hagreef. Oh, he's going to take attrition. We can use the no, we can't use the underway. We can sail though, can't we? There we go. There we go, we won't take attrition now. So if we take Thrund to Hagreef, then we can't recruit a second army. Grombrindal there is heading north. Let's go ahead and check our diplomacy. I don't think there's anything to be had here. We can almost get military access with Alithana, which to be fair, I think we could get on friendly terms with him. But for now, let's go ahead and end our turn and see if Hexus' army here does in fact attack our settlement. Oh, so they do in fact decide to attack us. That's a decisive defeat. There's definitely no way we can defeat that force. So we will have to defeat them again with Grombrindal. A grudge too far. The enemy has wronged us, but righting this grudge will cost us deeply, perhaps too deeply. Maybe just this once we should ignore the slight and focus on the grander objective. So we can get recruitment cost plus 5% but leadership, or we can get recruitment cost plus 5% and leadership. Wait, I'm so confused. A wrong put right, another grudge has been settled, another grudge has been settled. Is there any difference? We're going to right for wrong, or honour is all. Foolish dwarf, of course the grudge must be settled no matter the cost. Now bring me the foe to bring the foe to account and we'll have no more wobbles. Or there is nothing more important than avenging every grudge. Are we not dowie? The debt must be settled in blood and damn the cost. Let's go with that one, okay. We're a bit confused about that because both outcomes were exactly the same, right? Not too sure. Okay, and Valkia did here take our settlement with one of her other armies. The clans constantly order in black powder and make demands for better quality, deadlier batches as well. So plus 10% missile strength for Thunderer units. That's okay. We got a new grudge. Before the eyes of Valkia, goddess of home and hearth, the chaos-sworn Ungi of the north seize our land to honour their foul gods. These Wazuks think they will be protected by their ruinous benefactors. It is time we proved them wrong and took back what is rightfully ours. Of course, the grudge here. We will go ahead and settle that. And we got a second grudge as well. Seen by Valkia's agonized eyes, the northern manlings have despoiled our home, stolen artifacts and tainted sacred vaults. A grudge is in place, vengeance will be ours. So we do have to defeat that army also. And we do have a rebellion imminent in Nagarond. Okay, we do have Grombrindal here though. So I think when he joins here, maybe that will be fine. Let's see, where can we put Grombrindal? I think if we put him here, we can still reach Har Kadra next turn. I believe so. And are we still going to get a revolt next turn? 3 turns. Okay, there we go. So we won't have to deal with that straight away. We can take Front here and put him in Hagreef. We do actually have a lot of order problems down here. Oh wow, that's minus 23 per turn there. I think it's all the chaos corruption that is around these lands. Can we recruit anything? We have quite the option here to recruit. So we do have some cannons. They're armor piercing missiles, so we won't need bolt throwers, I don't think. We could get some grudge throwers. Let's go ahead and get 2 grudge thrower units. Would be nice to have some artillery. And a blood crown. A nearby Hearthstone blights this region. Okay. Add, would that be this? I think this is a bloodstone, right? I think so. So if we go and deal with that, maybe that will help with all the corruption and order penalties we're getting here. Can Grombrindal recruit anyone here? Ooh, we have quite the selection of units. Now we have plenty of quarrelers. I think I want to get some more Longbeards, so let's get 2 Longbeard units over here. And then in front we're already recruiting. Let's see, can we build anything here? We're already building. Maybe in Nagarond. Nope, we're all building there. We could build down here. Oh, okay, so this is Rector Gorge. The order isn't too bad here. So a revolt in 19 turns. So let's go ahead and upgrade this so we can get some more gold per turn. And I don't think we can build anything anywhere else, right? Yeah, nowhere else, okay. We're going to have a lot of revolts to deal with coming up. Let's check our diplomacy. We can get the military access with Alifanar. I think I will go ahead and do that. We can also get that defensive alliance. In fact, we can't for some reason. Okay. I'm not going to do this because I feel like... Does that affect our relation? I'm not sure. I think it might, to be fair. But we did get some extra gold. It looks like we will be able to get the military alliance eventually with Alifanar, which would be useful. He did hate Malekith as much as us, so that temporary alliance there would be okay, I feel like. I think that's all we can do for this turn though, so let's go ahead and end the turn. Oh, the Great Incantation of Kusar. So the Exiles of Nehekret, and a war succeeds. It's not too often you actually see a successful war, and they do have a second army here. It's not that side of... Wow, that's a sizable army though, isn't it? I think we can defeat them easily. We kind of have a front line here. We do have loads of quarrelers. Let's go in and try this. This might be a manual fight. A close victory with low casualties. Maybe it's better just to auto-resolve this one, honestly. Yeah, look at the reinforcements there. I think I will just we do have Lightning Strike. In fact, Lightning Strike makes it a decisive victory with low casualties, so let's go ahead and auto-resolve that one. There we go, 7k experience and 1k gold there. And of course we can take that back and settle our grudges. And we actually got a trait here. +4 melee attack and +20 armor piercing weapon damage. Very nice. That's for Grombrindal there. And we did get a Dawnstone, so 15% physical resistance. And we have captured this settlement back, as well as settling both of our grudges. There we go. So they do have an army here. I think we're going to float east, take Ashrek, and then maybe go north and take Dagrek's End. Although we'll probably raise this one just because it's not very inhabitable for us. I don't really want to deal with those penalties. Grombrindal leveling up to level 33 here. Now, we've gone down his red tree. What else can we get? This is for Slayers, Giant Slayers, Hammers, and Iron Breakers. We're not really using those units in his army. This is for Miners, Dwarf Warriors, and Longbeards. So, +12 armor, +5 melee defense, and +15% spell resistance. I think I will get that. That's very useful. So, here we could get melee Slayer, yeah, English. Yeah, we're not using those units. This effect, bolt throwers, gyrocopters, and gyro bombers. I don't think we're going to be using bolt throwers long term. This one's for crawlers, thunderers, and rangers. Oh, this could be very useful. So that gives us ammunition and missile strength. Let's go ahead and do that. Very nice. Our master engineer here, reaching level 20, so he finally gets his immortality perk. Let's go ahead and give him... We already have flashbang. That's charge bonus. We don't need speed. Not really needed. Could get leadership war size. Not really needed. Let's give him some missile strength. There we go. Up to 20% there if we get all 3 levels there. Philly, our Thane, also gaining immortality now, which is very nice. We could go ahead and give him deadly onslaught. Base weapon damage and armor piercing weapon damage should be quite nice. And then our Runesmith also leveling up. We could give him Strike the Runes, so shared cooldown minus 10% for all rune magic. Very nice, and he actually has another level up. We could get another Rune of Negation. There we go. So that's all of that done. We could carry on and take out Fregnus next turn, depends where they go, but I think we're going to go east to Ashrak. Or maybe we should chase them so they can't regenerate, actually. Yeah, that might be the plan here. So, Friend, let's hire some more units for Friend. I think artillery is fine. Now we should get a front line. Let's get him some Dwarf Warriors. Can we recruit any heroes as well for the army? No, we don't have any heroes we can recruit. Okay, that kind of sucks. We can build some stuff though. In fact, Grombrindal's army. I kind of want to get him some Iron Drakes. Where else were we building this? Down here. No? Ah, Hag Grief, okay. That's going to be tier 3, not tier 4 though. How long till we can make this tier 4? Ah, we're missing 2 growth, okay. And 9k gold as well. What's Grombrindal's army looking like? We have a lot of Quarrelers. Maybe we just get another Longbeard unit for that front line. I do like having 5 units as a front line, so let's get another Longbeard unit there. So Grombrindal now has a 4 stack. Frund is also recruiting Dwarf Warriors, so not as good, but they're still very strong. And then Harkaldra, we can get that up to tier 2. And let's actually build a Trinket Maker, just so we can get an extra gold per turn. We're actually doing very well on our gold per turn here. We can definitely maintain 2 armies, I think. Let's go ahead and get some growth in Nagarond going. And we will check our diplomacy. Anything to be had? Not right now, so let's go ahead to our next turn. Oh, the Wild Hunt begins. Orion, King of the Woods and Master of the Wild Hunt, is reborn anew. On the eve of the vernal equinox, the elite Wild Riders select a candidate to bear the mantle of the immortal Elven King for the year ahead. Now that Queen Ariel has done her secret work, Orion storms back into the world once more. As ever, he immediately calls a wild hunt to clear the forest of undesirable outsiders. The herald of the hunt sounds the horn, signalling the elves and forest spirits to fight in Athel Loren's defense, a primal urge to expel the forest's enemies that none can ignore. So Orion will now behave more aggressively towards his neighbours. Luckily, we are not near him at all, so that's a good thing there. And Araby Sandstone, your traders have excelled themselves. An overabundance of quality building materials has appeared on the market, reducing construction costs. So minus 15% construction cost for all buildings faction-wide. That's very nice. We definitely have some building upgrades we want to do. Now, Fregnus didn't actually move away, so we could wipe out that army before we go east. I kind of want to go north to take out this capital. Of course, the, what are they called? I can't actually see it. I think it's the Dark Fortress. Very powerful for the Warriors of Chaos. So if we can take out one of those, that would be nice. We will chase down this army though and just wipe it out so they don't have time to rebuild. Decisive victory there with low casualties. There we go. And of course, execute and loot always. Enemy killed in battle there. Now, we can't go into the underway this turn. And there's no point force marching. We won't get too much extra. Maybe we just go into Harkaldra here for the extra replenishment. I think we will do that. And then next turn we'll march this way towards Ashrak. We do have the Dark Elves over here as well. Hellebron there might be a very strong opponent. In fact, before we go south, I might take front to deal with Hellebron. So let's do some more recruitment here. We could do with more Dwarf Warriors, so let's go ahead and do that. Very nice. Grombrindal's army is fine. We can build down in the Elder Spire. Let's upgrade our defense building. We're going to need to get some defense here. So when this is upgraded to tier 4, we're going to get rid of the Gunsmith Forge, I think, and move that to the capital, because it is a tier 4 building. That's all we can build in the Elder Spire. Is there nowhere else we can build? Apparently not. Can I build... We have a defensive alliance. Is that enough? Yeah, with your allies or vassals. We need a military alliance, right, to build an outpost in Elithanar's land, sadly. Okay, but we will check the diplomacy. Can we get such a thing? It's increasing. Strategic threat aversion. Maybe asking for that gold affected the relation. I'm not too sure how that works fully yet, but let's go ahead to our next turn. Settlement receives plague. Our settlement, Shrokatak Mount, has received a plague from the settlement Storag Core belonging to Slaughterhorn tribe. Is there a way we can see what this plague does? Enables attrition for non-chaos worshipping armies, -3 control and +5 Nurgle corruption. Okay. There will be a rebellion there in 4 turns. That kind of sucks. We did get a new trait for Grombrindal, +2 control local province. Okay, that's interesting. That will... control here is actually okay for the time being. Right, so I do wonder... Yeah, there's Khorne corruption here, so we might take attrition in these lands. I'm not too sure. But just to be safe, Grombrindal is going to use the underway anyway. There we go, there's no one defending this. So we can attack Ashrak next turn. Let's go down to Thrund's army. We almost have a front line. Let's get one more Dwarf Warrior, and then our front line is complete. And then we have 6 more slots. Honestly, maybe we should get some Iron Drakes. I do like Iron Drakes, and we can get them down here. So let's go ahead and start getting some Iron Drakes. We have 4 Crawlers, maybe 2 units of Iron Drakes, maybe even 4 units of Iron Drakes. We'll see, and we can get 2 more Crawlers or something. I think that would be fine. We can't build anything this turn. Our turn's been a bit passive here, of course. Now we've dealt with Malekith, we're really just prepping? That's a new word. Preparing for our next war. I think we'll deal with Valkia very easily, to be fair. How many settlements does she own? She only has the 2 settlements, so yeah, we're about to wipe out Valkia too. So let's go ahead to our next turn here. So another new trait for Grombrindal, chance of intercepting an army using the underway beast paths or world routes +10%, and +5 leadership during subterranean intercept battles. Very nice, and also another trait +2 control for local province. And a imminent rebellion down in Obsidian Peaks. Would that be this settlement? No. Would it be the Circle of Circle of Destruction? So there's gonna be a rebellion down here. We do have Thrund to sweep down and deal with that if needed. But let's go up here because Valkia did send in, okay, an army. It's a very small one. That shouldn't be a worry for Grombrindal at all. As we go in here. There we go, a decisive victory. We could even lightning strike it. I'm not sure if that would change anything. Let's go ahead and auto-resolve this one. So another 2.5k experience and 500 gold. We will occupy it because it is a suitable climate there. And we gained a new trait, Assault Expert, +4 melee attack, +30% leadership aura size when attacking, and +4 leadership when attacking for the Lord's army. Very good, and enemy killed in battle. A new follower, income from iron mines, gold mines, and stone quarries, +8% local region. That's on our Master Engineer here. Grombrindal managed to gain another level up, so let's go into Tactician. There we go. Of course we wanted to max that one out. And our Master Engineer, let's get him another point in hand loaded. So our army is basically maxed out, but we have run out of movement range here. And looking at Hellebron, she's got quite the territory. So maybe after we take Dagrek's End, we can come east to the Glacial Gardens and maybe work our way down into her lands. Of course, Glacial Gardens isn't inhabitable, but all of these lands down here are, so would be useful to add them. The Chill Road actually has also been raised, so we could take the Chill Road for ourselves. For now, we can build a building in an ash track. Let's go ahead and get a trinket maker. I do love my gold. Being a dwarf, I feel that makes sense. And then Thrund's down here. So we got 5 dwarf warriors. Let's go ahead, get him some more Iron Drakes. There we go. I do love Iron Drakes too. And we can build the Temple of Cain. Let's go ahead and level Kragroth Deep. Because it does have... what's this? Exotic animals here, so we can get some trade going. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Very nice. And we do have something going on here. Ah, the rebellion next turn, of course. Before we do go to the next turn, let's check our... Oh wow, minus 10. He really hates me. Why is the deal chance gone down so low? Does it tell us what affects it? They approve with quite a lot there. Huh, our relation is increasing though by quite a bit still, so maybe we can get that defensive alliance eventually. We'll see, but for now let's go ahead and end our turn. And we do have a rebellion down in the Obsidian Peaks, but I think it spawned up here. Yeah, so a army of dark elves there. And the Brayherd come. Out of the forests they emerge, the horned beasts that stand upright in a vile parody of man. They are the cloven ones, the children of chaos, and they have come for us, to tear down our civilization. The warherds are migrating and destroying anything in their path. Defend yourselves from the beastmen's wrath. Of course, we will go ahead and do that. Thrund can't reach the army this turn, but what we can do is force march to this settlement, just so they can't do any damage to that. And then we can fight them next turn. Maybe I should have marched a turn earlier, but it's fine. And then we do have Grombrindal up here. We can't reach Dagoric's end this turn. So let's go ahead and use the Underway. They do have an army over here. Yeah, that's not going to be a threat to us. So it looks like we should be able to take this settlement very easily, actually. If we come down here to Heart Kadra, we can't build something. We do. Maybe we need some public order down here. Does this do anything for public order? No. We could build... Is this public order? A trading post. There we go. Refectory. Control. That's what we need. It can go up to tier 4 though, so I'd want that in the main settlement. So I might actually just build some defense here and then level up our economy building. Let's go ahead and check the diplomacy again, of course, every turn. Yeah, we're getting no closer with Elithidar. Maybe when we take some military action against Hellebron, that will help boost our relation so we can get that. The defensive alliance that we wished... they did raise the glacial gardens. That helps us quite a bit. I am worried about who's east of Hellebron though. It's fine, we should be okay. Of course, we do have Bellicor down here. Maybe Bellicor has come north. Not too sure. But for now, that looks like an end turn, so let's go ahead and end our turn. The gods are angry. The omens are ill. Something you have done has angered the gods. Yet they are fickle. They may forgive you in time. Or more immediate appeasement might be necessary. So we can get +4 control. Or +20 growth and -3 control all provinces. I think I will actually just pay 1,000 gold here because we are in a bit of we are having some control problems. So that +4 control, even only it's for 4 turns, could be very useful. And then a new technology: the alchemical brew used to fuel the flaming drake guns can be made more potent if a tad more unstable. +5% range for iron drakes and +8% missile strength for iron drake units. Very nice. And an imminent rebellion in the Iron Foothills, so that would be by Nagarond. Grombrindal might be able to come back down to deal with that. First though, Grombrindal is going to attack Dagrek's End, and that is a decisive victory with low casualties. That's very nice, and we will go ahead and raise it just because, yeah, just look at that. -3 control, +50% construction cost for all buildings, -15% casualty replenishment rate, -7 growth, +100% construction time for all buildings, +1 turn of recruitment, and -50% income from all buildings. It's just, I really feel it's not worth building. So we would take the 4,400, oh wow, 15,000 gold if we just sack it. Should we just sack it and then raise it next turn? We do have a lot of I think we can do that, right? I'm going to sack it just because that's a ton of gold. And we gain a new follower there, +10% research rate. And another follower with the same buff and another one. Okay. And then we're taking a ton of... We're going to be taking attrition damage now though, right? Unless we in-camp. Because then we're immune to attrition. Grombrindal did gain a level up here. Let's go ahead and give him that final skill in Tactician. Our Master Engineer also... Oh, we could get this Sharpshooter, Ammunition, Increased Ranged and Anti-Infantry. Let's go ahead and give him that. Our Thane leveling up here. Let's go ahead and give him... Let's give him that weapon strength. There we go. And our Runesmith... We do want all the runes eventually. That's a hero action. What could we get here? I think maybe we just go ahead and level up the Rune of Breaking. Let's go ahead and do that. Get all of his runes leveled up. And in fact, I think we can go ahead and now raise this turn. Oh no, we can only loot and occupy it, so we have to raise it next turn. So I guess we should go into encamp state. Yeah, at least we're immune to attrition now. Valkia has an army here. We're not too scared of that though. I think she just took control of that army that we saw beforehand. But now look at our gold, 24,000 gold. Of course, Frund down here has to deal with this rebellion. Let's go and do that. There we go, now a 3.2k experience. We will execute and loot, of course. Let's take Frund back into the Circle of Destruction. Because we can't get to High Grief this turn. And he does gain 2 level ups as well. So let's go ahead and give him some leadership, maybe. Vigor loss reduction for the army is quite strong. I like that. And we could give him Forge Fire. So all enemies in range get minus 15 armor. Let's go ahead and get that. That is very strong actually. I do like that. So Frund is doing okay. We do have a rebellion in Nagarond next turn. Actually maybe we should really force march Frund up here so we can go and deal with that next turn. He doesn't need a replenishment, so that's fine. And this won't revolt for another 40 turns, so that's actually really fine. We do need some more technology, so let's see what's down here. Recruitment rank for Quarrelers, Thunderers and Ranger units. That's quite strong. We go down here. That's for Gyro Bombers. Not really interested in those for now. Recruitment rank +2 for Artillery units could be quite strong. That's for Gyro Bombers. The same again. And the same again. So I think we're almost done with this. Let's get the +2 recruitment rank for artillery units, and then I think we are done with this bottom tree here. There we go, very nice. And that's just telling us about the rebellion next turn, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and check our diplomacy. Yeah, nothing happening here. Okay, let's go ahead to our next turn. So we did have a rebellion spawn here, of course a Dark Elf army there. Frund would be able to deal with that very easily, and we did get a grudge. Andor Valea's disappointed glare, infighting amongst the Dawi has led to an insurgency here. The grudge has been listed, end this despicable influx, so crush the uprising in Nagarond. That should be very fine. If we take Frund, he can't reach them this turn. But he can get to Nagarond this turn, so we will just sit him inside there so he can attack next turn. That's fine. And we can recruit some more units here as well. So maybe we get 2 more Crawler units. Just because they do have that range. And then we'll recruit 1 more Iron Drake. And I think that's a very solid army there. Yeah, I do like that. Now let's go over to Grombrindal. Of course we can hopefully raise Dagrek's end this turn. There we go. Let's go ahead and raise this. That should hurt Valkia a lot, especially with her economy. And Grombrindal gaining a level up. So we do have Tactician leveled up now. Now I think we want to get Axe Lord, because that +6 melee attack for Miners, Dwarf Warriors and Longbeards is very strong, as well as that +6 melee defense for them as well. So let's go ahead and max out Axe Lord. And then our runesmith, let's carry on maxing out the rune of breaking there. And I think next turn we can go and fight Valkia's army. Oh, it's looking quite strong now. I think we can fight that. We need to mess around a bit with Grombrindal's army as well, I feel. Just to optimize it a bit with the new units we have access to. We look at all of this. No diplomacy available. So what are we waiting for over here? 13 turns for more growth. Wow, the growth is quite slow. Now, we do have access to Iron Drakes down in Nagarond. So what I'm considering is actually deleting this building here and building some growth. Just so we can get this to tier 5 faster, because it is our home province, of course. But for now, I think that's everything we can do. So the turn's going by quite quick here. No manual battles yet, but maybe we will have one. There's still a little bit to go in the episode, but let's go ahead to turn 67 now. Okay, so nothing happening on the end turn timer there. Valkia has basically a 4-stack. Of course, she can recruit from anywhere. And wow, plenty of fast units. We're not sure what those 2 units are either. We are very damaged. So I do wonder if we can even fight this, because we don't really have a front line, as to speak. Maybe we should recruit a better army. Or at least go down here to heal. In fact, let's go into the underway. And what I will do is just come down here. If Valkia wants to take Dagrek's end back, that's okay, because I think she still loses some of her units to occupy, I think. So that would help us. But let's go and take a look at Frund. Let's deal with this rebellion. A close victory. We actually lose a Dwarf warrior? Really? There's no way, right? Is it because of this? They don't outrange us. 125 on the range, 130 on the range. We have 160 on the range. Of course, we also have 440 range on our artillery. How... yeah, we outranged our artillery as well. That's very interesting. Close victory. I don't think I want to lose anyone here, because we need Frund's army to go and help us fight Hellebron. I'm pretty sure we're going to need 2 4-stacks. So let's actually fight this battle manually. So here we go. We will indeed get in a manual battle this episode. And as you can see, we're set up in quite an organised fashion here. We have Frund at the front to take on the enemy charge, as well as a line of Iron Drakes. The best front line in the game, I'm sure. And then just behind them we have some crawlers with Dwarf warriors behind them too. Of course, we left some space just so the Dwarf warriors can run through easily. And then at the very back here, a long line of artillery. And in fact, let's get a close-up of the artillery there. The cannons looking very nice. As we move down the line, we will see our grudge throwers there, also looking very cool. And as we look towards the enemy, you can just see we have quite a nice layout here. Maybe it's just, a bit weak to a flank. And then let's get a close-up of Frund. There we go, as our cannons begin firing off on the distance. As we see them fly through the air. I think we're targeting the enemy artillery here. There we go, they do have a... is it like a Reaper? Reaper bolt thrower, there we go. So we do outrange them, which means our grudge throwers and such can actually get some shots off early, as we've already done a little bit of damage to them. However, the bolt thrower is now in range too, so they can return that fire, as we do take down a few units. And in fact, the bolt throwers there targeting Frund, really. So right now it's just a battle of artillery until the units get closer. Frund is quite a tanky guy though. He can take these Reaper bolt thrower units. And in fact, they're struggling to hit him because he's so short. There we go, he has taken a tiny bit of damage. The enemy have some harpies here. One of our grudge throwers trying to target them, but it's quite difficult to hit them because they are in the air. As we see them, there we go, just flying over the top of them. The enemy with some Cold One Dread Knights Those look like they are going for a flank. And if we go to this flank as well, we have some more Dread Knights with some Harpies going for a flank. Luckily, we do have Dwarf Warriors behind, so they can't move into position if they do decide to go for the flank, which is very nice. Now, one potential weakness with this layout as well is, of course, the Iron Drakes on the front line. As soon as their Dark Shards get in range, they could do a lot of damage to our Iron Drakes first, so we will have to watch out for that, as we see the enemy does indeed go for a flank. Now, our crawlers do spot them, but they're using the trees to help give them a little bit of cover before they go for their charge. So the enemy doing very well there, and also we have a flank on this side, crawlers doing the same. No trees to help them though, but that Harpy unit essentially at full health, so the Harpies will be able to engage him in melee. And we actually see the Dwarf Warriors now moving forwards to engage. It looks like the crawlers are going to take the brunt of the charge though, and they do. Doesn't deal too much damage. The crawlers able to retreat there as the Dwarf Warriors take over the fight on the front lines. Similarly over here, the Harpies, the Dwarf Warriors fighting them. The crawlers should be relatively safe. Frund now retreating. He did go forwards to cast off a Rune of Wrath and Ruin, but taking a ton of damage. Of course, I think that Dark Shards have quite good armor piercing. Yeah, we see there they do have armor piercing missiles, so the Dwarven armor not really too helpful in this situation. So we see the Harpies engaging on this flank, and the Iron Drakes absolutely melting that Dread Spear unit. We see it time and time again. The Iron Drakes are very, very, very powerful unit. And they are starting to take damage now that they are in range of the Dark Shards, which is what we feared earlier. So the Iron Drakes, instead of retreating with all of their courage and leadership, they decide to charge forwards and get the enemy Dark Shards in their range. As we see a huge volley of fire go off now, and doing quite a bit of damage both to the Shade unit and the Dark Shards unit. The Dark Elves now getting a Murderous Mastery buff. If we go over here, you can see the arrows exchanging back and forth between both armies as they take another massive wave of fire there. Just look at that. I think one of my favourite units in the game. The Crawlers also shooting in and doing a fair bit of damage. The enemy wizard now deciding to go into melee might be a mistake there, as we begin to target her with all of our ranged units. The Iron Drakes also deciding to target her. Her leadership basically vanishing there. And now it looks like that is a mass retreat from the enemy. So we did manage to hold off. I don't think we lost any units. This Iron Drake unit is very damaged, but they are still alive. They have 11 models there in the army. And now we're just trying to kill the enemy wizard, because when we fight them again, we don't want to have to deal with that. So as we look, all of the artillery crashing in. Our crawlers also shooting. I think our Iron Drakes might be out of range now. But yeah, it shouldn't be too long before she dies, as she takes another 4 from the Grudge Thrower ammunition there. 700 HP, that should melt quite fast. There we go. The crawlers firing in. Artillery firing in. And there we go, the enemy wizard is dead. That was a close victory, but at least we didn't lose any units there. So we did get a close victory, just like the AI would have got, but at least we didn't lose any units. Our Iron Drake's taking quite a bit of damage because we did put them on the front line, but our artillery definitely helping to soften the blow there, and our crawlers also being able to get plenty of shots off. So I think that's still better than losing a Dwarf Warrior. At least we didn't lose any units. So let's get back onto the campaign map now. Okay, so 5k experience there. Very nice. Of course, we will execute and loot the enemy. And sadly, that hasn't actually got rid of their army. Okay, we got a new follow-up, minus 7% recruitment cost for artillery units in the local province. Frund also gaining another level up here. So let's, what's here? Rune of Hearth and Home. Vigor per second. Spell resistance, that could be useful actually. Let's go ahead and get Ward Breaker because it debuffs the enemy. And he also got another level up. Let's see, we have everything here pretty much. What about stuff at the top? Leadership. we're not really fighting against Skaven right now. Leadership, aura size, missile resistance could be good. But oh, this is a passive ability. Vigor per second minus 5%, so affects allies in range and immune to psychology. So let's actually get that. We can stick him on our front lines. And then let's go and chase down the revolting army. Decisive victory. This time we don't lose anyone. So we will auto-resolve that one and execute and loot again. Very nice. So the grudge settled there. Let's put Front back into Nagaron just so we can get that maximum replenishment, and then maybe we can take him to go and take the chilled what's it called? The chilled road. There we go. I doubted myself there. Grombrindal already used his movement this turn, of course. Let's go ahead and check our diplomacy. I feel like it's pointless. Yeah, it's very rare we get any diplomacy here. Katep here. Our relation not changing at all. That's kind of interesting. So for now, let's go ahead to our next turn. Okay, another WAR fails. We gained a new trait for friend, +3 control in the local province. But the clans are not happy. Well, they never are, but they are particularly grumpy at the moment. Grumbling clan lords are meeting in moots and muttering about your reign. -4 control for 3 turns. That's not very helpful when we're struggling with control at the moment. Okay, Grombrindal's army could do with some replenishment. I think I might just stick him in Ashtrack so we can fully heal. But we do also need to go and deal with Valkia. Maybe we should bring Frund up here. But for now, let's go to the Chilled Road. We can colonize this, so let's go ahead and do that. There we go. That did take a lot of damage to do. We can build a tier 1 settlement there, so let's go ahead and do this. Hellebron is somewhere over here, I believe, so we don't have to worry about her too immediately. We should replenish our Dwarf warriors. I'm kind of considering maybe even bringing Grombrindal over here to update his army. Because I don't think we really need a gyrocopter. Also, we have a lot of heroes in here. Maybe too many heroes. We'll see. I'm not quite sure what to do with his army. We can build something down here in the province of Hagrief. Let's go ahead. We have some resource here, so let's get the exotic animals. More income. It will buff our trade income. Let's get some more growth. And we could max... I don't think we should build this here. Actually, no, we can, because we can always replace the growth building with defense when we need it. So we could upgrade this so we can recruit Longbeards down in Hagrief too. That kind of is our second province where we build. Of course, we have our starting province up here. And then we have the Black Flood down here to recruit from. Maybe once we conquer some of this, we could have Harganeth as a third recruitment province. Yeah, 4 settlements there. Could be very strong. But that's all we could do for this turn, so let's go ahead to turn 69. Okay, nothing happening there on the end turn timer. Valkia, oh yeah, a 4 stack. It's kind of frustrating actually how easily she can get a 4 stack. I do wonder, yeah, Frund needs to get that replenishment, so we will leave him to replenish for a turn. There's not actually much defense here. The Chill Road doesn't have a garrison at all. That's because it's not a settlement yet, we're waiting for it to build. I do wonder, should we march both armies north? Also, I was thinking maybe we can get a 3rd army. In fact, I might do that. What we can do... Dracula's Spire, we can build a building. Oh, we don't have Iron Drakes anymore here, of course. There's a landmark here. Income generated, 400 per turn, Oath Gold, +2 control faction wide, +15% research rate, recruitment rank, +2 for gyrocopter and gyro bombers, and recruitment rank +2 for Iron Drake units faction wide. How did I not see this before? Strategic location, yeah. Wow, the Elder Spire doesn't have anything. The Altar of Ultimate Darkness also does not have... Actually, it does have a... It is a strategic location. Does that also have a unique building? It does not, okay. But Dracula's Spire does. So let's go ahead and build that. That's very nice, actually. It doesn't unlock recruitment of Iron Drakes, but it does give us that +2 recruitment rank, which is really useful. And it's going to be 10 turns before we get that 4th growth to get tier 4 vote, which kind of sucks. Yeah, growth is going slow here. Are we on the growth? Yeah, we are getting +15 growth as well. Just not going too fast. Right, so what's our next step? So we're going to be having that built in 3 turns. I think we should hire a 3rd army down here in Hagreef. Down here, because of course we do have access to Iron Drakes down here. Let's go ahead and upgrade this. Let's see, let's recruit a Lord. I think a Rune Lord would be the best. So we have Griswold here, leadership. We could get Skag, +5% research rate and -15% construction cost in the local region, or Discipline, +2 leadership and +2 melee attack. Maybe we just get Skag here, Skag Thunderstone, for that research rate. So let's go ahead and recruit him. Move him into Hagreef, and then let's go ahead and recruit an army. We could just go pure Iron Drakes. Can you have an Iron Drake frontline? I'm not too sure. Maybe in Grombrindal's army you can? Because he has the buff, right? Like, how much melee defense does this guy have? 56 melee defense. What about in Friend's army? Yeah, only 30, so Iron Drakes really are for Grombrindal here. So what kind of thematic army could we go for with Skag? Maybe we could go Gunpowder. Get some Thunderers in here. Yeah, that could be something. Also, once we have tier 4 here, we can get Organ Guns and Iron Drakes with Trollhammer torpedoes. I do like that. But that could be a long way away, yeah. We're nowhere near. And we still need to make this tier 3. So, maybe we build a Thunderer army here. 145 range, slightly lower range than the Quarrelers. I don't think we're really buffing. If I pin that. Yeah, the Quarrelers have extra range and extra missile strength, that's the thing. They'd have less melee attack, but I think Quarrelers are just better. And they are cheaper. So let's just start by recruiting some Quarrelers there for Skag. I do like Quarrelers. And I think that's all we could do for this turn. And I think that's all I have time for as well for this episode, actually. As we have just passed the 1 hour mark for recording. If we zoom out, we have gained a bit more land to the north here. I think next episode for sure we will wipe out Valkia. And then we're going to take Frund and Skag here to go and deal with Hellebron, and we should control a lot of land up here then, and yeah, things are looking good. So thank you for watching. It's been quite a not too much action in this episode, but hopefully when we fight Hellebron and especially Valkia, should be a few more manual battles. So I will see you in tomorrow's video. Thank you.